Hi guys, welcome back to App Electronics here. I've got this guy in the kitchen with me. Tim Hendricks has agreed to be abused about BlueStar today and wants to cook and has some cooking in his background. But while we do this video, we're going to learn more about him and what he does here and why he likes to cook, why he likes the brand, and hopefully we're just going to have a lot of fun. The last video that we did was for Mother's Day, so June is Father's Day, so we're going to do a video for that. We're going to make some warm loaded baked potato, and we're going to do some sliders with some pimento cheese and some crispy prosciutto. So I hope you guys will download these recipes and make them for your father. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to have you start mixing the ingredients for the potato salad, which is going to be, and then you can tell us kind of what you're putting in the bowl as you're going. There's a whisk in the drawer right next to you here, and
Perfect.
Any other utensils that you need. So if you want to use that, and then I'm going to get potatoes cut up. So this is not a traditional potato salad where it's boiled. And the idea of doing a Father's Day demo is to be out on the grill, cooking outside because it's a beautiful time of the month. So these are actually going to be baked in the oven, but I like to actually throw these all in foil or on a tray and actually throw them on the grill instead at 400 degrees until they're cooked. But because we just have the grill on top of our range today, we're going to go ahead and bake these in the oven. So I'll go ahead and let you talk about what you're doing.
Well, I am starting the loaded potato salad
Actually, start right here.
with the shredded cheese.
And with the shredded cheese, you guys, if you have any gluten intolerances in your family, it's better just to buy the brick and shred it yourself. So that's what I did with this cheese. I threw it in my food processor with the shredder and just shredded the cheese ahead of time.
Cheese has been added.
So what do you do here?
Well, I started at App 12 years ago. I was hired for the phone sales department. Did my stint on the floor and was headed up to the phone sales when I looked up to my left and Mr. App was hovering over me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm starting in phone sales." He said, "No, you're on the floor." So from that day on, I've been selling appliances on the floor, and now I sort of oversee the appliance sales at Apt.
Awesome.
So it's been great the last 12 years.
The thing that I think is pretty amazing is that a majority of the employees that I've talked to here have been here for a significant amount of time.
Correct. 12 years is sort of, I did a chart on, we have about 86 salespeople
Wow.
in the appliance sales department, and at my age of 12, I'm in the lower half. So yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So people not only love their job, but they love the company that they work for, because you really need to have both, and it's so important to me to have happiness in your job.
Well, when you have fun where you work, it makes it a lot easier, and we do have fun here, and working at Apt is a fun environment.
I agree.
Being able to do what we do here for our customers.
I agree.
And also doing this, cooking.
Exactly, on BlueStar. So
Yes.
we're going to be cooking on our Platinum range, and we'll show you a video on how to assemble your griddle grill. But the Platinum range comes with an interchangeable griddle grill. So the beauty of that is you're not giving up any of your burner real estate. It's a separate accessory that comes with that range, is included in the price of the range, and it allows you to take off a couple of burners and bowls and set that anywhere you want on the top of that range. And then when you're not using it, you can put it away, and then you've got the burners available. So then, yeah, you want to go ahead and add the sour cream. I would do maybe another cup of cheese. And then when you do your potatoes, you can use either the golden, which is what the Yukon Gold, which is what I'm using right now, or you can do the red potatoes. Either one bakes very nicely in the oven.
Sour cream. Can I borrow a spoon?
Of course.
Thank you.
So do you have a favorite BlueStar appliance?
The BlueStar appliance, again, with what you guys have, the high BTU like in your Platinum, all right, that the burner, if you truly enjoy to cook, that's what you want. You want that high BTU. I also love the flexibility and the design aspect where you can throw a pop of color in your kitchen. because the color choices from you are endless.
Exactly.
And sometimes that gets a little confusing.
Sometimes it's almost too
right.
much, right?
But it gives that customer that option, nowadays to have just something a little bit different.
Exactly.
Which I think works very well.
And we do as far where it comes to customization, we have over 1,000 colors. We have textures, we have matte colors, and then we have all of the REL colors. So when you add those all up, along with we just released a summer collection, which is reminiscent of the ocean. There's some turquoise and a light blue. You can see it on our website at bluestarcooking.com. But kind of a really pretty rosy beige color, and then a bright kind of saffron yellow. So every quarter we announce our color palette, and it's just something that's representative of the season. And then we also work with people like Allison Victoria, who does a color collection for us as well. And her color collection is all greens. So greens is going to be really big again this year, along with kind of your nature colors, and then revisiting kind of some of the 70s color trends. Thankfully not avocado green, but some greens and yellows and oranges, but kind of reimagined and actually really beautiful.
You don't want to bring back the 70s? Everything's retro.
Love the 70s. That's my timer. I'm going to check on my potatoes. Right. So we went ahead and made some potatoes ahead of time because these are going to take a good half hour in the oven. So in essence of time, we wanted to make sure that we can show you guys the full recipe.
Is that 4 tablespoons of butter for me?
No.
No?
That's for the potatoes. And then if I would throw your salt, I would throw maybe like a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper, and then we'll taste it, and then if it needs more at the end, we can add some more at the end. You guys do a lot of like fun events here too, don't you, with Halloween and the holidays? And did you guys do anything for Mother's Day or Father's Day here?
It's always fun here on any holiday at App, especially birthdays.
Oh yeah.
The decorations, people go very creative when you have your birthday here. Sometimes it's better to not let people know it is your birthday at Apt, as I have found that out over the years.
What's the worst thing that they did to you on your birthday?
Well, my entire desk and computer and keyboard were saran wrapped.
Oh.
My keyboard was changed to my name, so typing-wise, that was interesting.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, they spend a lot of time.
Very creative.
Right. Now, am I mixing this now or olive oil?
Yeah, you can go ahead. No olive
oil?
oil. No, that's for the potatoes.
Oh, just mixing this.
Yeah, so what he has in the bowl is some mayonnaise, some sour cream, some shredded cheddar cheese, and then we'll chop up this bacon that's in front of us here. I like to bake that bacon in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. It comes out beautiful. It doesn't curl up as much. Having that moisture in the gas oven actually helps keep its integrity, I guess, if you will. So I don't ever cook bacon any other way but in the oven. So how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Okay. How old?
Now you really put me on the spot.
They're about.
I should have done that homework. It is a Father's Day. Hold on.
You can give us a range.
28. My son is 20. Our son is 28, and daughter is 26.
Oh, wonderful.
And if I got that wrong, sorry.
They can edit it, I think. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are they here with you, or where do they live nearby?
They both live in the city. So they are
Nice.
out of school. They are working.
Are they hiding during the Taylor Swift concert this weekend?
They both will be attending actually the Taylor Swift concert.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna cut this butter up real quick, and then I'll move over and I'll let you take that bacon and chop it up and add it to your mix there.
Okay.
But I'm taking like 4 tablespoons of butter and cutting it into very small pieces. And then these are gonna go right on the potatoes with a little bit of olive oil. I like the olive oil and the butter together. It just gives it really good flavor. And then we'll salt and pepper them and get them in the oven. Okay, I will give you that. I will move over just a little bit and grab these potatoes. And then if you just want to grab the bacon, and if you need gloves, I've got gloves right here.
Thank you.
And then just rough chop it. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. And then this butter, just little pats everywhere. Just adds to the flavor.
Got it.
So I have one son. He just got married last weekend.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
After 3 years of postponing because of COVID. Well, they were supposed to get married like the month after COVID. And so once everything shut down, they rescheduled. And then the following year, the venue still wasn't open. And then the following year, they both came down with COVID 3 days before the wedding and had to reschedule everything. So finally happened. Lake Geneva, 72 degrees and perfect.
Did you cook for it?
Perfect. No. No, they actually had some really wonderful food. We were at the Abbey Resort out there.
Yep.
So I'm going to drizzle this with some olive oil. And I've got this on parchment paper. It just keeps the potatoes from sticking to the bottom of the tray. I'm going to kind of just make sure that everything's coated here. We've already got our oven preheated to 400 degrees. Then I'm going to do a little cracked pepper. I'm going to grab some salt. You want a good amount of salt on these because potatoes can use a lot of help with salt. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven. And I'll set a timer for about half an hour. Okay. And then that can go right in there while you have your glove on. Catch it before you pull it off. Never have too much bacon.
No. Whisk.
Whisk, whisk, whisk. And then I'm going to grab the potatoes and we'll slowly start adding those in while I have you mix those. Because you want the heat of the potatoes to kind of melt the cheese and it'll loosen everything up. And then as we get it mixed, if we need to thin anything out, add more mayonnaise or sour cream, we can do that. But you want your potatoes nice and golden like this. The thing that I love about this is it's super easy, super quick, so you can still enjoy your father on Father's Day and you're not spending the entire day in front of the grill. All right. Here, let me give you the spoon. It might be easier to, I'll trade you. There we go. So you're a manager now?
The appliance sales manager, yes.
Yeah.
But
So
also still very active in selling.
In selling?
So that's.
Do you have a preference to one over the other, managing people or just talking to people?
You know, selling keeps you up to date with all the products, keeps you in front of the customers, which I think is very important. Mm-hmm. You know, so I enjoy both. You know, you're always, at Apt, you're always selling.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
so no matter what
100%.
role you're in.
And I feel like no matter where I am in the state, I see an Apt truck, which I think is a testament to how much business you guys do. I know you're not big on mayonnaise and sour cream, but I want you to taste it. And you guys, you can I typically will put some green onion in here, chopped up. I put half of it in the recipe, you'll see the green onion. But in essence, to keep the showroom smelling beautiful, we don't want to put them in here, so you can mix those in. It will give it some color as well. And then I would typically finish off with the rest of the green onion on the top as a garnish. So we want to take a bite, taste it, make sure there's enough seasoning in it. He's like, like I hate mayonnaise.
It's very interesting. No, because we brought this up beforehand, and I totally would eat that.
You would?
It's unbelievable.
That's
But
a win.
that's part of the when you don't taste things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's-
I used to tell my son, you can't tell me you don't like something until you taste
Right.
it. If you taste it, you hate it. I'm
Right.
not going to make you eat it again.
So I'm not just saying that. That is phenomenal.
Love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it. Okay, so we're going to go
Wow.
ahead and move on to the sliders. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get working on our pimento burgers. So we're keeping the meat kind of simple. We're not putting a lot of seasoning, just some salt and pepper, because we're going to draw all that flavor from the pimento cheese and the crispy prosciutto, which is kind of ties into the bacon that we have in the potato salad and like the sour cream and the mayonnaise, kind of similar ingredients with similar profiles. So I'm going to have you go ahead and lay out some of the prosciutto, and
Okay.
we're going to get that in the oven. It needs to cook for about 8 or 10 minutes to get crispy. And to me, it's almost better to have this on a burger than bacon, because sometimes the bacon, depending on how it's cooked, sometimes people don't cook it all the way through and it's a little hard to chew through. But this just kind of melts on the top of the burger and gives you that little salty bite. So that's why I like to do that. And while you are working that, I'm going to go ahead and work on the pimento cheese. So I've already made a batch of this ahead of time, because the longer this sits, like for a couple of days, it actually just melds all the flavors together. The cheese kind of melts in there and it just has better flavor. If you don't have time, it still tastes really good. But if not, if you do have the time, it's good to make it ahead of time. So I've got 4 ounces of softened cream cheese that I've let sit out.
This is very thin.
Yeah, and it's okay if it's overlapping like that, because
Okay.
we're going to break it apart and to put it on top of the sliders. And then
Perfect.
I've got a jar of pimentos, and this is in liquid, so you can actually go ahead and put the liquid in here. It'll kind of loosen everything up. And if you've never seen a pimento before, they're actually really cool. They're big red peppers that are heart-shaped that almost look like strawberries. They've got the little green top. They start out green and then they get red like other traditional peppers do, but it's a really cool looking pepper if you've never seen it. Most people have only seen it in the store like this, so.
I have a question though.
Yes,
Shouldn't we taste this first?
you should definitely taste
Okay.
it. Yeah, definitely.
Wanted to make sure.
I'm gonna put in 2 cups
It's
of
very
cheddar
good.
cheese. You can't go wrong with prosciutto.
No.
It's delicious. And we're eyeballing this. And then we're gonna do 4 ounces of mayonnaise, which is about a half a cup. And about a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And there's sriracha in this too. So if you like it spicy, you can add more than what I put in the recipe. If you don't like spicy at all and you want to leave it out, you're welcome to do that as well. So the recipe has 2 teaspoons. I will do that. And then we do salt and pepper to taste. So you want to go ahead and pop that in the oven on the left oven. I'm sorry, the right oven. My other left.
Your left, my right? Yeah. I heard it.
And I'm gonna set a timer here we'll set it for 8 minutes. You wanna keep an eye on that. Prosciutto can go from beautifully crispy to burned very quickly, so you definitely wanna keep an eye on it when that's in there. And then if you wanna go ahead and start on the sliders, so we've got ground beef chuck, which is 80% to 20% fat. You want to have some fat content on it. The leaner the meat is, the less flavor you're going to pull out of it. So I like to do at least 80-20 when I do sliders. And then you want to put it in that bowl there, just half of it, yep. So there's going to be a pound of meat, and then we'll do just salt and pepper. And then I'm adding salt and pepper to mine too. I'm doing about a half a teaspoon to start, and then we can always add more. But you've got the prosciutto on there, you've got the mayonnaise, all of that has salt, so you don't want to make it too salty.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna
So
start
am I adding
mash-
the salt and pepper in here?
Yep,
Okay.
and then give it a good mix.
Is there a certain amount?
Yeah, it's a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper.
I was going to do
Per
like that
pound.
one guy on the Salt Bay guy or whatever. No? Okay, I see it on the show like this. Mix?
Mix.
Mix.
Mix it to get the salt and pepper in. You don't want to
Okay.
overmix because it makes the meat tough.
Okay.
But just enough to get the salt and pepper incorporated.
All right.
And then this is your pimento cheese. We're gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge. Like I said, we're gonna let it hang out. I'm gonna grab the one that we already made. We've got our grill preheating. Now, whenever I make meatloaf, meatballs, any kind of ground meat, I pull a little piece off, I cook it in a little saute pan, make sure it's flavored well and it's salted to taste. If it's really bland and then you've already cooked everything, you're done. So always a good idea to pinch a piece off. Let's go ahead and get this preheated here.
Oh, you're gonna preheat it? Okay.
Yeah, it won't take long.
All right. This is our test.
And it's a nonstick pan, so you don't have to worry about oiling it or anything. And then the other thing, if you want to get the griddle ready, I have some grapeseed oil back there and a towel and tongs. You always want to grill that. That's a cast iron griddle that we have back there, which kind of gets more nonstick as you cook on it, as you clean on it. It's super easy to clean with just a Scotch-Brite sponge, some hot soapy water, just like our burners are, super easy to clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this into the refrigerator. Spoon here.
Hopefully.
And then we're gonna portion, if you wanna portion, these into about 8, it was a little over a pound, so like 8 or 9, we're calling it 2 ounces. Sliders are about 2 ounces, so you're gonna wanna put your gloves on. And you're gonna divide this into about 8 pieces.
8 pieces.
As even as you can. And then kind of form them into sliders and we can put them right on the cutting board here. We'll bring the cutting board in the back and cook from there.
Okay.
Well, actually, we need to cook this first, don't we?
We should. That
All
was the
let's
plan,
cook
right?
that. Yes. I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. You want to cook that. It should be hot. I'll give you a piece right here.
It's sizzling.
So the platinum, this is our 25,000 BTU burner that we have this on right here. The nice thing about these open burners is that it allows access to the entire bottom of the pan, and so you get really efficient cooking, really beautiful coverage on there. So we'll let that cook, and then if you want to, did you oil this?
I did.
Perfect. You're ahead of me. Got our potatoes. Our potatoes are almost done.
How's our,
Getting there.
okay.
We've got about 3.5 minutes left on the prosciutto.
All right.
And then while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and grab these buns and cut a couple of them up. I just do the Hawaiian rolls. I know there's potato slider buns. You can do whatever you want. And you can make these into large burgers as well. You'll get 4 burgers per pound. So if you prefer to do large burgers, then instead of the sliders, you're welcome to do that. We'll just take 3 of these. And then 1 more. And these will be ready for when we're ready. A little smash. I'll have you taste it when it's done.
All right.
When it's done. So do you do anything special with your family for Father's Day, or is that a surprise? Like you don't know?
Usually the kids come out from the city and I grill. And I may have a new dish.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you make them.
But they, like I said before, they sort of eat like me, so I'll have to make them try it.
But you like to grill.
I do like to grill.
So they're letting you do what you love to do on Father's Day.
Absolutely.
I guess is the way we should put it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, do we have an extra spoon we can try? There we go. And it's going to be really hot, so be careful. But we just want to taste it and make sure that it is salted well, seasoned well, before we put them on the grill.
I think it's good. You're the chef,
Perfect.
though.
No, that's good. I'm going to trust you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and portion these then. Let me move these buns.
Okay, so
We'll
you
portion
said you
these.
wanted 8 of these.
Yeah, and I can help you with that too. If you don't like beef and you want to do chicken or turkey, you can do that. You just want to add a little bit of fat into it because it's super, super, super lean.
You demo one and
It's like that. And then I like to do a little dimple in the middle
I've seen that. Why is that?
because otherwise it puffs up when it cooks. And this
Oh.
keeps it nice and round. There you go. Perfect. So do you have any vacation plans for the summer?
Nothing this summer. Gonna hang out here, work on my golf game maybe.
You a good golfer?
I enjoy it.
Golf, I used to play a lot of golf, and golf to me is one of those, when you're having a good day, it's the greatest game in the world, and when you're not, you can't wait to get off the course. I don't have a lot of patience for it.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Mini ones.
Yeah. All right, that's our prosciutto. Let me give a check on that, and then you can go ahead and start these on the grill. Okay. So I'm going to set this right here. And the prosciutto is going to crisp up as it sits. So I'd rather it take that time to get crispy than to worry about it burning. So that's why we pulled it out. All right. You can go for it.
Going for it.
Go for it. So the thing with the griddle to keep in mind is that you're putting it on a front and back burner. So you may have 25,000 on the front and 15,000 in the back.
Oh.
So it's always good to keep in mind when you're preheating and when you're turning that range on to make sure that you've got even temperatures front to back. Or if you want it higher in the back and you want to sear them off and move them up to a lighter temperature, you can do that as well. And then I've got a spatula for you here.
Okay.
So you want to go about maybe 4 minutes on each side. Unless you want them well done, then you cook them for longer than that. And we've got the lovely hood up here that we're venting. Our custom hood here, we do custom ventilation as well as standard ventilation in all different shapes and sizes. Our 30 and 36 inches come with a 600 CFM fan, so you don't have to worry about ordering a fan separately. And again, in unmatched color and customization. Got about 5 minutes on the potatoes. Settle? Huh? Okay, cool. And the nice thing about this is that any of the grease that's on here is going to drip down. There's an actual drain hole in the front here. And then these trays actually come out. So any of the grease is going to collect in these trays, and then I can pull those out and throw those in the dishwasher. So what are you going to grill for Father's Day?
The usual fare is skirt steak, and then I do my my kids love my caramelized onions.
Oh,
So
okay, nice.
I work those, reduce those for a couple hours.
You do that on the grill too?
I don't do those. No, I'll do
No?
that
Okay.
inside. I've been doing a lot of grilling with the like the flat top. So I have
Nice.
three. I have a smoker, I have a grill, and now I have a flat top.
Oh, you're hooked up.
So the flat top is very interesting. Like when I'm doing my salmon, cooking in its own juices,
Yeah.
So, and also being able to get that caramelization on top, preheating that. So
Yeah, and we have the option to do a griddle on here too, which is kind of similar to the flat top. Show you real quick. So it's cast iron, it's flat on one side, and then we've got the raised bars on the other side. So it's, if you would rather have done them on here, we could have done them on here too. I think maybe take a peek on the underside to see how we're doing. Maybe another minute or two, yep. I had these on low too because we had them preheating for a good long time to make sure this was nice and hot. So if we need to raise that up, we can do that too.
So it's the dimple that I've been missing.
See, if you learned nothing today, you learned about the dimple.
The dimple in the burger. Key.
I love sliders because they're so versatile. There's so much you can do with them. You had talked about your caramelized onions and to add a little like bourbon in there and maybe even a little bit of barbecue.
Yeah.
I think would be really good too. So much you can do. And then maybe check the ones in the front too because we've got those little, that's a little bit higher. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, you can even maybe move these up a little bit because in the middle here, you're kind of sitting in between the two burners.
Got it.
And that way, it'll get the direct heat underneath it. And then there's, I don't know if tongs would be easier for you. There's tongs right here if you want to use those instead. That might be easier to kind of grip them, flip them. Grip them and flip them.
absolutely. Perfect.
Nothing like grilling burgers on a 90-degree day, guys.
But with the fan and what I learned about pre-venting the house, that's what I call it when I'm selling it, pre-vent. Turning your hood on first before you even get over here is the key to venting.
Exactly.
So as you can, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's all being drawn up,
Yeah.
right? So very key. Sometimes you don't need as much power in a hood if you use it the correct way.
Exactly. And we talk about venting after too, right? So in on our liner, we actually have a timer. So when you're done cooking, you can actually hit that timer and then it'll run for a period of time to continue clearing the air.
Right.
Because there's still stuff that exists in the air even when you shut everything off. You're still pulling some smoke, especially with cast iron. It keeps its heat for a very long period of time, so you're consistently burning stuff off. So to have that on afterwards, you're getting kind of the rest of those smells, ventilated, getting that grease out of the air and everything else. And our system is where underneath the baffles, they're commercial baffles, and then behind that there's actually a cage, and the cage serves two purposes. It actually helps protect the fans that are underneath there from collecting grease and things like that. But it also helps to distribute that air. So we've got better air capture and grease capture over the cooktop portion of your range or your cooktop so that you're properly venting everything and you're pulling from all portions of the range as opposed to we're just kind of centrally located. And then I would say let's go ahead and let's pull this one and set them over here to rest.
This one.
And this one, yeah. And then I'm gonna steal this, and I'm gonna come over here. If you want to come with me, we'll let those sit for a minute.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and plate everything up so that everybody can see, because you definitely want to taste these burgers. Sorry, I'm making a mess on the counter here. All right. So if you want to scoop some potato salad in here.
The potato salad.
Potato salad. I love anything potato. Anything potato. Okay, so you put your burger on. I'm gonna grab some pimento cheese. And then if you can grab a piece of prosciutto, we can crack that up. And you kind of want to put this pimento cheese on while it's hot so it kind of melts on over the top of the burger. And then you want to break some pieces and put a couple pieces on top. All right, and then we'll put our tops on. So there are your sliders, and there is your potato salad. Thank you so much for cooking with me.
Well,
I hope
thank
you have
you.
a wonderful Father's Day.
Yes,
thank
you
you
very
guys
much.
for watching. We'll be back again next month with, I'm not sure.
I
think we're doing barbecue, so we're gonna do some elotes, and then we're gonna do, I think, some kebabs. So we hope you guys will tune in next time, and thank you for joining us. Have a great day.